Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Belicious Budgeting. My name is Anna. I have Coco here with me sunbathing. We're going to spend the next few days together. I'm going to give you all an update, so let's just go ahead and spend some time together. Today was a bittersweet moment. I finally received some really good news after weeks of just receiving bad news after another. I just showed up very early for my eye appointment. I'm just really trying to focus on taking care of my health overall, like my mental, emotional, and physical health. So my emotional by attending the therapy sessions. Also there's like a group therapy session for pet loss, and Marshmellow's pet insurance also has some additional counseling, so a lot of support there. And then also my physical health by going back to the gym, walking more, meal prepping again, not eating out as much. And then also I haven't had an eye appointment almost 2 years now, and I was like, hey, I'm paying this for insurance, might as well use it. So just trying to keep busy with that. I realized I was holding it in a lot, and just kind of reflecting and like going to therapy, I realized I didn't really have time to mourn, because when I took some time off of work, he was still in the hospital. I just had to be readily available in case they called me, and just knowing like what's going on and visiting him. And the hospital is a little bit of a drive each way, so when he actually passed, I had to go back to work in like 2 to 3 days. And after he passed, I had to do some things for him. And then when I thought I was gonna have more time off of work, I truly had like 1 day to mourn, and then I was just shocked the fact I had to go back to work. So I felt like I had to, I can't be crying at work or crying with customers. So I just felt like that distracted me. And then I started to get even more depressed just from staying at home, just not being around people, or not like having any motivation to do anything. So then, started to go back to the gym, and then I'm like, okay, I can't cry at work, I can't cry at the gym. And then, Coco is really picking up on my energy. So then I thought, okay, I can't cry in front of Coco. So I just felt like there wasn't a safe place for me to cry. And I felt like the more time has went on, it's actually been a lot harder, because this is the longest I have not seen him. And, I had to finalize his pet insurance today, or remove him from pet insurance today. And that was hard, because even though submitting everything was very stressful, I felt like I was holding on to that, because that's something I would do on a normal basis if he was here, calling to get like all the documentations, calling all the different vets, calling the pet insurance, uploading it, checking the status. So even though it's stressful, it's holding on to it, because that was just something I did for him. And having to remove him was just really hard, because now there's nothing else for me to do for him, and that's really hard to let go of. But I'm trying my best to move on. It comes in waves. I have better days than others, but now I'm just allowing myself to cry. I'm like, sorry, Coco. I've been taking her to more places, like we go get coffee or like run errands together. So she's been better, because she has like really bad separation anxiety, and just she doesn't like leaving the house. But I feel like by getting her out of the house, she has been better by being in the car and just acting better in public as well. So I was just like, I need to cry somewhere. It gets hot in the car, or I cry when it's just Ernie and I, but I have to cry. It still hurts. It's still heartbreaking. And I'm gonna go in now because it is super hot, but I just want to give you all a quick update. So I just got done with my eye appointment. Every time I come, my eyesight gets worse, but it wasn't too bad. I do have a stigma in my left eye, so I'm keeping my frames, just getting new lenses. So that felt good to get out of the way, and now back to work. And now we're headed to the grocery store. I got this adorable little basket from Dollar Tree, so this is perfect because I always forget to bring in my bags. So we're just going to pick up a couple of things. I can't believe one jar of marinara sauce is $9. At Costco, you can get 2 for about $12. And this was my little haul for today. I underestimated the size of my basket. It wasn't able to hold the meat that I purchased, but hey, for the most part, it did its job. So I didn't get much. Usually I'll go to Food for Less if I just need a couple of things, and we'll do my larger grocery shopping at Winco. So I just got some steak, ground beef, some bulk rice, which is new there, 88 cents a pound, and then I just need some chicken broth and some romaine lettuce. Tonight I am making lasagna for dinner. It is Jersey Day in this house as well as the season finale of Jersey Shore. I love using my Ninja coffee maker to boil water. It is so quick and easy, and I'm just using the Winco brand of lasagna noodles because hey, we buy generic in this house to save some money, and I season the ground beef with Italian seasoning, red pepper flakes, salt and pepper, and mix it with their Rayos marinara sauce, which you should purchase at Costco to get more bang for your buck. And then this is lasagna prepared, and then I'm just going to put it in the fridge until I'm ready to bake it. I just want to update you all on how my therapy sessions are going and just how I'm progressing in general. So the hospital where Marshmellow stayed at, they did offer me a few free sessions. Unfortunately, that has ended, but they did invite me to their group therapy sessions, which I was a little bit standoffish because I get very emotional when talking about pets and them passing, and I told them I'm gonna cry at everyone's story. I don't want to bring the mood down more than what it is. And she said if it's too much for you or if it's too fresh, you can leave. We totally understand, but just try at least one session. I think it'll be beneficial, just hearing other people's stories or sharing like tips on like what makes others feel better. You might benefit from that, or maybe you can share something to help others. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. And then also Marshmellow's pet insurance did offer some support as well. I haven't reached out yet because I don't want to be like doing all these like sessions. It could be a bit overwhelming. And then also I am attending therapy through my medical provider, which the first few sessions, you know, we're explaining like the process and like how it goes and just like getting to know each other. And then we dived into like what has been going on. And then one of the sessions, I just had to talk the entire time, and we didn't really have time to go back and forth. And even at the end, she goes, this happened within a week of each other, like from our last session. And I said yes, and she goes, wow, that's a lot. And I was like, yeah. So just a lot going on top of Marshmellow's passing. Just life has been lifing, but this week has been a boring week, which I am thankful for because I just felt like we just kept receiving bad news. And I think we received about maybe like 2 pieces of good news, and we were like happy for a second, and then it would follow up with bad news. And I just thought like, oh my goodness, like I don't know what's going on. I feel like the universe is punishing me. And it was just like really hard to be positive and trying to be optimistic, but I was trying the best that I can. But yesterday I had a really good therapy session. Like I felt so much better than I have in such a long time. So what I like about my therapist, she's very truthful and blunt, which, you know, everyone is different, but as I mentioned in a previous video, I don't like hearing, and I know people aren't coming from a bad place, I don't like hearing generic sayings like, oh, it was his time, he's in a better place, he's lived a long life. Or sometimes I could feel people feel forced to say something, but they're not genuine about it. I just rather them not say anything at all, to be honest. And I was sharing with my therapist that I still feel shocked and I'm contemplating the what ifs, I'm feeling guilty. And she goes, what would change if he died 2 years later? Do you think you would feel any different than you do now? And that question just kind of stumped me. I was like, how do I answer that? And I go, she's like, would you feel better? Or like, how would you feel, you think? So I was like, yeah, I mean, it wouldn't really have changed anything. Like I would have loved to have like more time with him. Maybe I would feel like a tiny bit better knowing he lived a bit longer. And she goes, you know, unfortunately, like with dogs, they do have a shorter lifespan, and we know they're going to pass a lot sooner than us. So like one day you knew you were gonna have to handle this. And I was like, yes, I just didn't think I was expecting it to be this way. In a perfect world, I would love for him to be like 18 or 20 years old and just pass away in his sleep with no like prior health conditions like a few days or a few weeks before. And there was like this book I was planning on ordering before all this happened with Marshmellow. It was like A Dog's Life Forever. It's like a cookbook like to help them live a longer life, and I was super excited for that. I was like, okay, cool, like I'm gonna feed this to Marshmellow and Coco. So I was just like feeling a bit bummed when I saw that the other day, like charged to my card, and I was like, man, like Marshmellow couldn't even like enjoy this, but you know, I'm excited to like use that for Coco. And because I was telling her about the book, and then she asked me, okay, so what would happen if you did bring him home? Like they got his levels healthy enough, like how would that have made you feel? And I was like, well, they even said if he was healthy enough to come home, he can pass at any moment. He can pass in the car, he can pass when he's home, he can pass during the night, like he could have a seizure, like his body could fail, like he could bleed out. So it just seemed like he can pass at any point. They couldn't promise me like, you know, if he does this, this, and this, he could live for like a few more days, few weeks, months, years. And she goes, exactly. So like, no matter what, like this was gonna happen, or this was just kind of like what was supposed to happen, and there was nothing you could have done about that. And she asked me, she goes, what could you have done? And I was like, nothing, you know, like that was like the sucky part. Like I was taking him to all these vets and like they didn't even have a solution. So I don't know who I thought I was or what I could do. And the next question I thought was a really good question. I'm going to try and say it without crying. So she goes, I hear how much value he brought into your life. What value did you think you brought into his life? And I was like, oh my goodness, like that's a great way of phrasing it, because people would tell me like, I'm so glad like you had him, you were able to take his appointments and you're able to give him his medication, like you're able to work from home, like to keep an eye out on him. But just saying it so bluntly and also like questioning me, I was like, well, you know, I was able to take him to all these specialists. I kept calling until we can get like a quicker appointment, like sending photos, videos, like through email, just to see if we can get in quicker, or taking him on emergency. Like luckily I did have the time, resources, and the support system, my parents and Ernie, to help out financially with his bills. And she goes, you added longevity to his life. And I think what really hurts is looking back, before Marshmellow was diagnosed with his EPI, he lost half his body weight, and his primary vet said, we exhausted all options, all the tests are coming back normal, but something's definitely wrong. And once I took him to internal medicine and they diagnosed him with EPI, like he was so close to starving to death because his body wasn't absorbing the nutrients. And I saved him. Like I was able to save him. And then there was a second time where his body was starting to do the same thing, even with his pancreatic powder and medicine. And, you know, I took him in again. I saved him a second time. And I don't know who I thought I was, but I just thought I was able to save him in the past. Why couldn't I save him this time? And she was just saying, you tried the best of your ability, but there is nothing else you can do. And she goes, based on like what I hear, like he is very much loved. He got to sleep in a big, warm, comfy bed with you. He got to cuddle with you every night, and you took very good care of him. And you guys had so many great memories together. And I just never like looked at it that way. So that was very reassuring. And then also I thought it was very sweet at the end of the session. I said, you know what, Anna, just by talking to you, I'm really proud of you for being active by walking, going to the gym, and returning back to work so suddenly. And with everything going on, like a lot of people take more time off work or try to request more time. You haven't asked me that. And with all this occurring like on your own, you're being optimistic or trying to see the positive during a very dark time. So I just want to say I'm very proud of you. And I just thought that was like super sweet of her, and it just kind of encouraged me a bit. And another thing that has been bugging me, I just feel like it's a different day, same SHIT, because all we do is work, meal prep, gym, watch TV. Like we haven't really been going out, eating out, like doing anything fun. So she goes, I want you to do something for yourself that's fun. That's not going to the gym. That's for your health. And I was like, yeah, you know, my husband and I are young, like we're healthy. Like this isn't it. Like this isn't living. But, you know, I just felt guilty. Like I don't want to do anything fun or kind of like find enjoyment in a way. And she goes, I want you to get out this week. That's your homework. Do something for yourself. Do something fun. So I reached out to one of my friends where I had to cancel our plans, and we're gonna probably meet up for like a brunch or something. And then one of my other friends wanted to get their nails done with me, so we're gonna get our nails done. So I'm just slowly starting to socialize again, hang out with family and friends. I reached out to my cousin because I basically just been at home or hanging out with my parents, and that is pretty much it. So I am going to try and do something positive for myself try and get back out there. And I'm gonna end the vlog here because I have been talking way too much, and I just want to say thank you all for those who have been checking in on me constantly. It doesn't go unnoticed, or for some of you that have messaged me directly saying you've been going through something and me sharing helps out, or like some tips that I've been doing, or it motivates you to do something. So this is why I'm sharing it. If it helps others, even better. Some of you have commented on my videos, so that is so brave of you to do. Thank you so much for sharing and being open. I really do appreciate it. I wish everyone the best, and I'm sending positive vibes everyone's way. And if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button down below. Also, give this video a thumbs up. Be sure to turn on notifications. Upload every Wednesday, Saturday, and I'll see you all in my upcoming videos. Bye, everyone.